Jaime Munguia has been getting us pushed to us as a potential opponent for Canelo forever, man. Ever since the HBO days. Like, think about that. Ever since HBO was still in the boxing business, we've been hearing Jaime Munguia being talked about as a potential opponent for Canelo. And I mean, it seems kind of crazy because the dude is still so young, right? And I remember thinking at the time, hearing it like, these dudes are insane, man. These dudes are insane if they think this young dude is going to go in there and even pose any kind of opposition to Canelo. Man, Canelo's going to run in there. He's going to tear this dude's head off. He's going to make it look easy when he does it. The talk dies down. We don't hear about it for a while. It started to pick back up. So he's going into this fight tonight with John Ryder. And not only do we hear Canelo's name mentioned, we hear Benavidez. We hear there's big things. There's big things if Jaime Munguia wins this fight. There's big things if he looks good and he wins this fight. We're talking about a potential fight with Canelo or David Benavidez. He doesn't want to get ahead of himself. He doesn't want to focus on that too much. But everybody knows what's waiting for him. All right, so like the stage is set. We know what's there. We know how big the stakes are. We know that everybody's trying to push this thing for some reason. Obviously, we know how boxing is. There's got to be money involved in it, right? So we go and we see the fight tonight. Now, if I told you on the surface, Jaime Munguia goes into this fight with John Ryder, knocks him down 4 times, stops him in the 9th round. You say, wow, that's really impressive. Is this the same John Ryder that went the distance with Canelo? You'd say, yeah, exact same one. Wow. Does that mean what I think it means? Does that mean that we're looking at a guy that Canelo could not get out of there, could not do enough damage to stop him? But we're talking about Jaime Munguia knocked him down 4 times and got the stoppage. That sets the stage for us, right? And I'd say, not exactly. Not exactly. Here's the thing. When you look at that fight tonight, what we saw was what we've always seen. And I'm not trying to knock Munguia when I say that, okay? The guy's impressive. The guy's a fan favorite. The guy comes out and he's all action. He does exactly what you think he's going to do. If you want to see a guy go out there and he's going to work with a good work rate, with some real true power, he's going to be aggressive. He's going to be on the front foot. He's going to be throwing hard punches. Then you want to see a Jaime Munguia fight, right? It's just that simple. He started working with Freddie Roach this fight, and we could see, guess what? His offense is progressing even a little bit more, right? I like the way that he went down to the body. Changed levels, bent his knees well, went down to the body with some hard right hands. I like the way he was a little bit more patient, just a little bit. We know this dude is known for his aggressiveness. He came out with that aggressiveness tonight, but he was a little bit more patient. Used his spacing and his distance a little bit better. Still smothered his work a little bit too much at times, but it was a little bit better than we've seen in the past, right? And that's all great. And those are all things that we expect. But here's the thing. If you're talking about fighting the best of the best, if you're talking about going in there and fighting a man like Canelo and getting a win, right? Not just showing up for a paycheck. If you're talking about going in there and fighting a man like David Benavidez and trying to get a win, not just showing up for a paycheck, it is going to be impossible to get those wins if you get hit as much as Jaime Munguia does. Dude, it's just that simple. This man gets caught with a lot of punches, okay? He gets caught with punches while he's going forward. He gets caught in between his punches. He gets traps set for him. Get caught. I watched this fight tonight. There was a point in there in the middle rounds. I don't remember exactly what it was, but the broadcast team called it out as well. It was really obvious. John Ryder was trying to set up a left uppercut. He's moving back. He's doing little things. He's trying to set traps. He's trying to set up this left uppercut. It missed like 2 or 3 times before eventually he gets it to land. Okay, my point is this. I'm at home. I'm watching the thing. The broadcast team is there. They're watching this thing develop. They call it out while this process is developing. Jaime Munguia makes no adjustments. Doesn't recognize it at all. Just continues to plod forward and ends up getting caught with it. There were times in there when he was getting caught with Ryder's right hook 3-4 times in the span of 45 seconds. He would catch Ryder with a shot and get him hurt, come charging forward, and just repeatedly get caught with shots. Now look, he was able to do, you would look and you would say, but he's got a rock solid chin, man. He's got an iron chin. He's a young dude. He's able to do it. He's willing to go in there and eat however many shots he has to eat to go in there and get the job done. You can make that argument. And obviously it's worked for him up until this point, up to and including the fight that we saw tonight. And that's cool in the gang. I get it. But again, John Ryder isn't a puncher. And John Ryder isn't where Jaime Munguia saw his career reaching its pinnacle. We're talking about this guy fighting Canelo. We're talking about this guy fighting David Benavidez. I'll even throw another name out there that nobody's mentioned, but I'll throw another name out there that I think he would have some real trouble with, Caleb Plant. And it's not because Caleb Plant has great power. He doesn't. Right? Because when you talk about a guy like fighting a guy like Canelo, when you talk about fighting David Benavidez, you're talking about Canelo has more power than Benavidez, but Benavidez has got good power and he's got this crazy work rate. But when you're talking about fighting guys like that, they've got more power than Caleb Plant. So when you look at a guy like Jaime Munguia coming in and getting caught as much as he does, that's going to be some real trouble because of the power that's going to be coming back to him. But when we talk about a guy like Caleb Plant, he presents a whole different set of problems. Now, he doesn't present the problems of that power. So when you're coming in, you're not worried about any individual shot that you're getting caught with. But you're worried about the footwork. And you're worried about the volume of shots that you're getting caught with. And it's not like he's out there, throwing the type of punches where he can't bust an egg. He's got some power, right? We saw what he did to Anthony Durrell. So we're talking about a guy with this great footwork who's always going to be moving around, bouncing around on the outside. Very, very, very fast hands. Very sharp jab. Very good ring IQ with the ability to catch you in between your shots. Exactly what we saw John Ryder doing tonight. I know it sounds like I'm talking crazy about the dude. And I know it sounds like I'm talking bad about him. And he just went in there tonight and got an impressive victory, man. So my hat's off to him. I don't want to seem as though that's what I'm doing. But you have to understand that every time we see this dude fight, every time we talk about this guy, they're always pushing the Canelo fight on us. They're always pushing about what he can be and what's next and his potential and all these things. They never really let any individual fight stand on its own. They never let an individual performance come out there and just speak for itself. They always want us to think about what's next for him. So I'm thinking about what's next. I'm talking about what's next. I'm projecting the performances that I see about what can be next for this guy. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be trouble. You're not going to go in there and get beat. David Benavidez and Canelo getting caught as much as he does. The fact that he doesn't make adjustments mid-fight, the fact that he gets caught with this variety of punches, the fact that you can catch him so many multiple ways, it's going to be bad news. It's going to be bad news. Now look, the good news for him, he's marketable, he's young, he's got the power, he's already got this name building. He's starting to work with Freddie Roach, which is probably going to develop his offense even a little bit more. So it's like he's got a bright future, man. He's going to be able to go out there and beat a lot of people. He's going to be able to go out there. He's going to be able to make money in this sport. Plain and simple. If we didn't have a guy like Canelo up there with all of the belts at the top, he'd probably be able to, even snatch one up, right? I mean, there's 4 of them. Who knows? You're plugged with a good promoter. Oscar De La Hoya is able to make some things happen. And before you know it, you got world champion at 168 pounds attached to your name. It stays there forever, right? But we're talking about him going in there fighting Canelo. We're talking about him going in there and fighting David Benavidez. And I do not see either one of those fights working out well for him. Again, I don't even know if I'm willing to say that a fight with Caleb Plant's going to work out well for him. I don't know how he's going to handle that footwork. I don't know how he's going to handle that hand speed. I don't know how he's going to handle that jab. Is he going to be able to cut the ring off? Or is this going to be a situation where he just ends up constantly following him around, getting caught in all the traps that Plant's setting for him? So, I don't know. Remains to be seen. We'll see what's next for the guy. What do you think is going to happen? Canelo has voiced his point in the past that he does not want to go out there and fight another Mexican. David Benavidez put a post on Instagram or so, I want to say, right after this fight, and he was like, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically he was saying, I'm knocking this dude out and I'll make it look easy when I do it. I can't even believe people are talking about this as a legitimate fight for me. So let me know what you guys think. Am I missing something here? Is there something I'm missing about the game that Jaime Munguia is bringing to the table? And then there's some way that it's going to translate much better against these guys than I think? Or am I calling it exactly correct and you guys think that it's going to be just nothing but trouble for him should he step up and face either one of those gentlemen? Let me know what you guys think.